ask for clarification. Now that Mr. Maya made mention of that you should not, I mean, anybody can join and so on and so forth. But then I have gone through the constitution, the Lawyers Society constitution. It talks about you cannot be, you are disqualified if you are a member of another association. So maybe there must be a kind of clarification. Because I was expecting, for a very long time, we have labeled the bar as not being able to work, as not being able to actually discharge its mandate, because we see politicians are infiltrating. We have lawyers also who are politicians, who would infiltrate and try to make sure that the bar does not actually, execute its mandates properly. So I would have loved to join the Lawyers Association if they would have been able to address that aspect, making sure, because now as it is, as I understand it quickly, let me answer that you respond. As I understand it quickly, I can be a member of a political party now, whether national level or constituency level or whatever level of any national political party. Okay, as far as I'm not a member of any political board or any government institution, I can still be a member of the association, and I can still contest for position, in the lawyer society. So it doesn't matter whether I belong to party A or party B. But I thought that this was one of the things that they wanted to come and address. But now if you see it in the constitution, then it becomes worrisome for me. Okay. Who is, somebody of a critical mind that would even love to join that association. Okay,
Mara, you'll respond before we come over to Fatoma.
Yeah, I think very quickly, I think that's a misleading of the constitution. So it says for disqualification of members, if you belong to an association or an organization which values fundamentally contradicts the values of the society, then you can be disqualified. And we have members who belong to political parties. It's an open door, and members have every right to belong to political parties. What we have shut the door on is those members who hold executive or leadership positions in political parties cannot be part of the leadership framework of the Lawyers Society. That is what we have said. But if you are a lawyer who belongs to a political party, you have absolute rights to apply to be a member of the Lawyers Society. There's nothing stopping you. But once you belong to an organization whose values contradict the core values of the Lawyers Society, you would not be a member. And so far, so good, the fact that we have hundreds of members who are part of the Bar Association will tell you that we have not seen the Bar Association as an organization whose values contradict Lawyers Society, right? Nowadays we live in a society where these, terrorist groups would come up. We don't want members who belong to those groups or violent group to now be enlisted into the Lawyer Society. So that's the only door that we have closed, so that we don't allow people who belong to these maybe terror groups or what other groups, not just terror groups, but also violent groups. We don't want those persons to be members of the Lawyers Society. But if you're a member of the Bar Association, you're free to join. If you're a member of a political party, you're free to join. It's only those who hold executive positions in political parties, leadership positions, that are disqualified from being leaders at the Lawyers Society.
Okay, Fatoma, you've listened carefully from both speakers. Do you think that these bodies are far from, getting respite? Because by the looks of things, it's like the ruling government is in full support of the Silent Bar Association, taking into account their recent dinner held, Fatoma.
Okay, first let me talk about the other issues I said earlier on, that these two groups, they are actually not comfortable with governance and democratic practice.
In what way?
And like, Mr. Lansina just supported my earlier stance that the Sierra Leone Bar Association, M&A, doesn't serve the purpose of the current corporate affairs guidelines for company M&A. It doesn't, right? And so it's disadvantaged members who are in the bar association. So meaning, democratically, you are not catering one of the fundamental elements for a bar association or law society to be formed is to look for the affairs of the members. So you have an MAA that disadvantaged members. So that's one. And then we go to the lawyer society. If you are saying the very side both of them have been talking about, you know, that's in their constitution, Article 12, 5, it talks about conflict. So the conflict, if there is a conflict in an association that you belong to, you are not allowed to be part of this other association. And there is a clear line of conflict in both operations. There's a clear line of conflict when each body within the same legal purview catering for the welfare of their members, supposedly catering in terms of helping the people of this country through government to reform laws that are in the best interest, protecting their membership and some portion of the general public. And so then if you are in the bar association, it has some little bit of conflict with what the lawyer society.
Fatoma, just for clarity for those watching, so that 12.5, it reads,
yes,
is not a member of any association, organization or body which could affect or conflict with the proper and efficient discharge of his duties as an executive board member of the organization.
Yeah. So, I mean, that disadvantage, you know, him now, he said he's still a member of the Sierra Leone Bar Association and now the president for Lawyer Society. There's a conflict in both operations, right? Unless otherwise. But then let me come to you.
But it says discharge of duties as an executive board member of the organization.
So does that tell you that I can be a member of a political party and still be a member of the board as executive member?
No, I mean,
I'm
not saying
of a
he's
political
an
party.
executive board member. He's the president. He should be part of the executive board. If we go through their organogram or their organizational structure, he's here to clarify. I mean, based on what we are seeing on surface lens, that's based on what we are saying words. So, I mean, let me go.
Sorry, quickly, Mr. Sorry, I have to interrupt. Honestly, I mean, I've been in the bar for a very long. I've been at the bar for a very long time.
Okay, wait.
At least 10 years. Quickly, please. my acquisition of the discontents that over the years that has engulfed lawyers is that those who are members of political parties, national political parties, they found themselves, you know, within the executive of the bar association, and that was frowned at. So I was expecting that an alternative association will be able to address that mischief. You know, we're able to make sure clearly it's stated that you cannot be a member of a political party and still be an executive member of the lawyer society. That is the clarification that I seek.
Okay.
All right, so thank you. So coming back to your question with government, I mean, it was clear here on your programs, one of your sister programs, when you called the 3 contestants for the Kenema election for the bar association. And you have 2 of them declaring their background and their connections to the 2 big political parties in this country. And one of them happens to win the bar association. And so what does that mean? And she was.
Did she win elections?
I mean, based on the Sierra Leone Bar Association announcement, that she won. Based on the Lawyer Society announcement, Mara won the election, elected. And some members of the public are saying they have not seen.
Well, they said there was no election held.
Where was that? In Kenema?
In Kenema, yes, in Kenema.
I mean, listen here. Like I said, based on information on the surface, the Bar Association informed the people of this country, either deceitfully or truthfully, that they won, they held an election, and someone emerged as a winner.
In
right?
your independent view,
now, one, I condemn the election here on AYV, and I still stand on that. And the best way, coming back to Phoebe, concern about accountability, we in the civil society space, we cannot be, including the bar association, we are all in the civil society space. We cannot be calling for accountability at a higher stop. Then we have low appetite or a zero appetite for accountability. And those who perpetrated that particular disrespectful actions against the members of the bar association and disrespecting, the people of this country would have held accountable. And a structure and a system within the bar association would have been able to enhance the people around. But this is a situation, even the so-called elders failed to galvanize based on morality. Because most of these people have pitched a fence already, sidelining others and supporting others. So why do you think either Mara will feel safe to confront certain elders in the profession, to actually put him down, to convince him on a peace table, when those individuals already before and now have aligned? Why do you think Tuma will also be feel convinced and comfortable with certain so-called elders to actually sit around to discuss this issue? We compromise our integrity over little things in this country. And this has been the problem. That's the reason why we have shortage of moral guarantors at all spheres of life. Because for certain things, people think that, they should align. If I don't align, my home is not going to have food. So I need to align. It's quite difficult to get professional. When Mara was appointed in Sierra Leone, one of the Sierra Leone board from this very government, some of his colleagues at the EBA was not comfortable with him. But what is wrong for someone like Victor serving as a board chair, as a commissioner at the Human Rights Commission? One, let's look beyond his political affiliation, but him as a professional. And while Mara was appointed, let's look beyond his affiliation to friends in the SLPP. But let's look at what professionalism he will bring to the board. So we have created a situation, the moment you have hired as a technocrat or as a professional with this administration, even your own friends, if you belong to that party, they will call you a name that even the street guys we always have easy way of pronouncing it, that you're not snitch. You are two-sided. So you battle with that. Even you don't hold a political party card, but just because you take up a job.
What do you think is the way out of this? Peace negotiation talks or accountability and reforms?
For me, it's accountability. Reform needs to come after the accountability. Like I earlier said, that election, would have been cancelled and organize a fresh election in a transparent and more fair manner, right? So whatever aggrieved party goes their own way, that's their fundamental right. Augustine says that, we have a shrinking space in Sierra Leone, but we still have organizations registering in Sierra Leone. I know I'm a victim. Every time we pick up national issues, even with this regime, I receive death threats. I have them on my phone. Even with the judiciary, when we were doing things, they were planning, orchestrating how to send journalists on me. I have the text. I have the text with me from their WhatsApp group, judges' WhatsApp group. I have text from the securities, how they plan to arrest me. I have text, right? I'm saying this publicly because I'm 100% have my evidence. So when we raise issues in this country, we are subjected to attacks. So that is a whole challenge. And then there is also a lack of this phenomenon of public education on right issues. On right issues. We claim our rights, and fail to recognize our responsibility that carries along with our rights.